Hello and welcome to Whatever Wednesday, the day that I talk about whatever I feel like talking about. And today I feel like expounding upon some of the things that I talked about on Monday. So in Monday's video, I was talking about my minimalist goals and my specific goals that I have, which are to get out of debt. You know, that was basically it. That was my one goal: get out of debt and get my family just more minimal, more on board with minimalism, living a little bit more simply. But since making that video, I've been thinking about it and pondering it, and I think there's a lot more going on than I really was thinking about when I made that video that I really said. Those things being kind of vague dreams that I have that I'm not sure if they're ever going to really take place. I don't know if they're ever going to solidify or how much any of them are going to come to fruition, but I just wanted to share with you guys just some random ideas I've had about really kind of the minimalist lifestyle that I'm excited with exploring. I did talk in Monday's video a little bit about being interested in traveling as a speaker and then staying on the farm in the summers on Aaron's family farm. Going along with that, I just want to stress how much how I picture that happening would be maybe my family living in an RV or something like that, and we'd travel around and we would stay at, like if we were speaking at a church, one of the members of the church would allow us to stay in their yard and park in their yard and sleep overnight and share a dinner with them or something like that. So that's how I picture that, but I really love the idea of traveling as a family in an RV and just kind of like just that sort of nomadic lifestyle. And I don't think that I would want to do that forever. Erin has expressed she really likes that idea as sort of a temporary thing, a travel type thing. So, but that just really excites me. Like if you ever, there was an old show from the 90s, I think, called Promised Land, and it was this family, this Christian homeschool family that they basically just traveled across the country. And gosh, I love that show. And looking back on that now, I can see how much I just long for that. Like sometimes when I'm driving, because I drive a lot because of my work, and I see an RV pass by, and if it's the type of RV that I kind of dream about living in with my family, like my heart just aches when I see it. It just aches because I just want that lifestyle. I love living in community, and living in community is kind of the main way that the main thing that I'm drawn to when I think about how I want to live. I don't necessarily just like the idea of my little family kind of living in our own isolated house. That being said, we do plan on having a large family, so that in itself I think will create the kind of community that I'm drawn to, but even more so, I've always been interested, excited in living with other people to some degree. For instance, I mentioned before, a couple of times Aaron and I have had people living with us, staying with us in our house for various reasons, and I've really enjoyed that. I've really enjoyed just having another presence of another person, and they've had jobs, so they've not just been there at the home all day, but that come and go, kind of sharing with other people, just within our immediate family can be really nice. And right now we're kind of living in that same type of community, at least on a really small scale, because we're living with Aaron's sister, so that gives us another person in the house besides just the two of us and our kids, and I've really enjoyed that. I think Aaron's sister really kind of meshes well with our personalities, so that's a really good situation. We also live right across the street from Aaron's parents, so we often will go over there for dinner or just for different times for different things, and Aaron's mom will babysit for us a lot, that kind of thing, and I just really like that community. I love the idea of a house being a hub for like different members of the community to live in. I know a lot of people who are not married yet, they're in college or they're just out of college, and they kind of live in these group houses. I had friends when I was in college who did this as well. You'd get a bunch of friends together and you'd all rent a house, and I love that. I never really had that. I stayed in the dorms my entire college career, which is a community in and of itself, but I pretty much kind of cloistered myself in my dorm room a lot, but that's neither here nor there. The point is, I love the idea of living in a community, an intentional community. And there's been talk, and I don't know how serious they are, but I'm super serious about it. There's been talk about getting kind of a Catholic version of Amish community going here in Michigan with my cousins and friends that I have. And I really want to do this. I want to make it a thing. I want to make it happen. So these are just some of the things that I've thought about that I hadn't mentioned in Monday's video. Another thing is if I do ever own a house, if Aaron and I ever really stay in kind of a rooted place and have a house that we own, I would like it to be very unique, very different. We've talked before, there's a vague possibility, a vague hope that we have. Aaron's parents have some land that we might be able to build on someday, and if we did, there's so many different versions of houses than the standard one that I've grown up thinking is the only way for a house to be. There's so many other ways, so many other things. I've loved the idea of living in a yurt. I love the idea of, I read this article once that I've never forgotten it. A woman who lived in a house with no doors. Except when I read that, I thought she literally had no like doorways. Like I was like, how does she get into her house? Is there like a tunnel? I was an idiot. But the point is, she lives in a house with doorways, but no doors. She does this in Arizona, so that's how she manages it. But I've loved that idea that even if, living in Michigan especially, even if you have a front door, I love the thought of not having doors from different rooms. And I've thought about this, and I thought, for privacy or something, a curtain will do just fine. There's no reason. We have too many walls in this world, too many doors. We need to break those down. So I really think it would be awesome to live in a house with no doors, with just maybe curtains or beads or little shutter things, or I don't know, something like that. Because doors, there's just something so cutting off of a door. You can slam doors, you can lock doors, you can keep people out, you can isolate yourself in. And I don't think that's the healthiest, the best way to go, the best way to live. So those are just some of my alternative lifestyle kind of dreams, ideas. Like I said, I don't know if those will ever take place. I don't know if any of these things will ever come into fruition. So for right now, I'm just going to focus on day-to-day following God's will and trying to see what God's calling me to right now. And I just know that He's got so many exciting things planned for me. And who knows? Just who knows? All right, so thank you guys so much for watching. Have a blessed day. I'll talk to you about some whateverness next Wednesday. Until then, have a blessed day. Love you. Bye.